Hello YouTube land, it's Debbie from the Canadian Crotcheter. Today is Sunday, June 6th. I know it hasn't been that long since I've been on before, but I figured I got some stuff to show you. I figured I'd get on and show you. But before I show you what I've done, I just want to take a moment to, and I don't normally do this, I don't know why, I'm scatterbrained, but I just want to take a moment to thank everyone, all of my returning friends. You guys make my week when you guys comment and give me ideas, and it's just, you know, it's an amazing community. And I also want to thank all of the new subscribers that have joined recently. And I know it's because you're coming from Bago Day. Crystal of Bago Day recently talked about me, and I was floored that she was influenced by something that I purchased, which is amazing because she calls herself an enabler, but she's not. She's sharing. And I trust her opinion so much. And for her to actually trust my opinion on something is like, she's such a fabulous lady and or young woman. And she commented or threw my name out there, and I know that quite a few subscribers have come from there. So I appreciate you, and I thank you for coming. Recently someone asked me, what's your channel about and where's it going? I'm like, I don't know. The answer to both is I don't know. I don't come on here and I teach you anything, because to be honest with you, there are so many tutorials and such wonderful teachers that can do such a better job than I ever could. I don't feel that I'm bringing anything to the table. I do have couple of tutorials. They're not the greatest quality, and I've found that it's a lot of work, and I'm trying not to work. But yeah, so I will do a tutorial if I feel the need, or if I feel that there is something that I can add to. But let me tell you, there's so many fabulous tutorials, and you know, you're looking to do something and you find somebody and you don't like their voice, which is understandable. Lots of, you know, there's lots of people that I don't like their voice. And you just move on to the next person, and I'm sure someone out there you'll click with. So back to the question of where is this channel going and what's it about? I don't know, it's about my blathering. That's about it. If you like blathering and you like, I mean, I'd like to think that I might be able to give you an idea. That's why I watch a lot of podcasts, is to get ideas. And that's what I'm doing too. So if you get an idea from me, that's it. And I just want to blather about yarn and stuff that I've made, and maybe a little dose of life. That's it. So that's me in a nutshell. Now, what have I been up to in the last few days? Now, this first project that I want to show you was actually supposed to be finished in May. I did not get it done in May, and this was the GrannyDee Moss Stitch in May challenge. It was a challenge put out by GrannyDee from Knit, Purl, and Squirrel. I'll leave a link for her down below. And I believe she was having some prizes, but I believe that I'm late. But that's not why I do it. I look for inspiration, and that's what I'm all about. Anyway, I made a moss. Some people call it the linen stitch, which is what I do, but I made a blanket. I can't show it all to you, but what I did was, so most of my yarn is still in bins. We're renovating the basement to create some more sleeping space because we have a big family, and hopefully we're going to be out of lockdown eventually, and they'll all come to visit. But anyway, so most of my bins are still in, or most of my yarn is still in bins. But I ended up opening up a bin, and in there was one-offs. One of this, one of that. So I decided I'm going to hold 4 strands together and do the linen / moss stitch and make a blanket. And the reason I'm making these is quite a few people have requested these quasi-weighted blankets or heavy blankets. They're quite comforting. And so this one is like a just a little bigger than a lap blanket for the winter. Right now it's really, really warm. But anyway, I just held 4 strands, and then and they're all different kind of yarns. They're all acrylic, but all different, and I didn't care about the colors, and I think it turned out really, really quite wonderful. almost rainbowy, eh? Anyway, that was supposed to be my entry into the GrannyDee's Moss Stitch in May challenge. I missed it. But anyway, so I got that done. I think someone's already put a dibs on it, but I'm not sure. I really like the colors. Like, look at this. Look at this. Oh, love it. Anyway, I ended up using quite a bit of yarn, so that makes me happy. Now, the other thing, I've made 2 tops. One knitted, one crocheted. I'm going to talk about the crocheted one, which is the one I'm wearing. This is a Bag O' Day pattern. Now, I'm pretty sure she does not name her patterns, but I will leave a link for this one. And it's got like a bubble. I know it's hard for you to tell, but it's like a bubbly texture. She should call it the bubble tea. Just saying, you know. Anyway, I love this so much. I did not normally when I don't just follow tutorials. I find it very hard to follow just tutorials because you get lost. Like, where are you? You're not going to get a project done in an hour. So I normally print them off, but I didn't have to this time because it's a 2-row repeat. And her tutorial is so fabulous that I just watched it and memorized it. I could whip it off again now, no problem. She made it so easy. Now I'm gonna put in a little video of me twirling in it here. Okay, so as you can see, mine, well, I don't know if you can see, if you know hers is longer, and she belted it. I made mine shorter, and I love it. 2-row repeat, so easy. Now, I had found this Cotton Kings from, I believe that's Hobbii, Hobbii, I believe, yes. And it says it's a number 1, but I don't think so. I think it's more closer to a number 3. If this is a 1, that's an awfully thick one. Anyway, it's 100% cotton. It's buttery soft. Really, I enjoyed working with it, but I found this corally color, and I could have sworn I had 3 balls of it, but I could only find 2, and that's why I made it shorter. So 1 ball was used for the front, 1 ball was used for the back. And then I ran out just as I was finishing, and I needed to do the single crochets around the sleeve and the bottom hem, and I didn't have enough. So I found I had a yellow. So I thought, oh, that looks really, really cute, right? Yellow and coral, it looks really, really cute. So I finished it off with that. And then when I was cleaning up, I found another one. It's amazing how the universe works in mysterious ways that I would have done it all in 1 color, but because I didn't, I did it in 2 colors, and I think I like the 2 colors better. Anyway, this is a great yarn. In the hank, it almost feels cord-like, but working with it, I seriously loved working with it. I was using I believe a 4mm hook. That's the other thing about her tutorial. You can use any hook, any yarn. It's fabulous. She did a great job. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But anyway, back to the yarn. It's a great yarn, and it has that center pull with the little tag, so you know, and there's no digging inside. So I think I'm going to buy more of this. I actually have a little more in a couple of different colors, but I think I'm going to buy more of this. And like I said, when you first get it, it's soft, but it feels almost cord-like. But when you start working with it, it's wonderful. I enjoyed it thoroughly. So thank you, Crystal, for making the bubble tea. Anyway, I also knitted a top. I think last week I showed you guys this universal yarn, Universal Cotton Supreme Waves. Yeah. Anyway, I ended up finding this pattern. I found this yarn from Aberdeen's Wool, and I made another top, but then I loved it so much that I ordered another one, or a couple more balls. I think it was 2.5 for this top, balls. And then I went looking for a pattern, and I was on the Premier website, which happens to be, I believe they're the distributor for Universal Yarns, and I found this pattern. It's called the Fresh Berries Tee, and it's a knit pattern, and yes, and I loved it, but being a new knitter, there was some challenges. Now I'm going to put in a video of me twirling in this. Okay, so this is the top, and I loved it. Now it doesn't look exactly like this one because this one is more fitted and this one is more wider on me, and that was a total mistake, but I actually liked that I made that mistake. So I had some issues with not understanding the pattern. So when you're doing the raglan section here, some rows had body increases, some rows had sleeve increases, some rows had both. I had no idea how knitters do this just by reading this. I actually had to write out every row. Okay, this row has a body increase, this one has both, etc. And then as I finished the row, I would check it off. So I don't know if that's just a poorly written pattern, or, you know, I'm just not experienced enough to be able to follow. I don't know, I had some hard times, but I learned how to make one right, make one left. It was pretty good. I obviously my purling needs some work. So let me see if I can show you. It's okay, it's just not great. So the purling is obviously a little wider than I wanted it to be, but I'm okay with that. I love this tee so much. Now, I know that the design of the tee is very basic, something you can buy in a store, and I don't normally like to buy something that I can buy cheaply in a store. What's the point? Why spend all this time to make it look like a machine-made, you know, off-the-rack piece of clothing? But in this case, the yarn is what drew me. So the yarn is gorgeous, buttery, and just wonderful. The stripes are like, it looks bold, but it's really not. And even like, I don't know if you guys can see, even in the white, there's a little bit of yellow in there. There's a mottled look to it. I love that. So that makes a basic tee look different. So I'm happy with this. I am very, very happy with this. Now the reason it's not fitted, when I got the raglan done, and I was doing the stitch, I was counting the stitches, the sleeve counts were bang on, but the front and the back had way too many stitches. I don't know how that happened. I'm not an experienced knitter, so I don't know. But I decided to keep going. I don't like things too tight sometimes. And in this case, it worked out in my favor. I love the way it feels. It's flowy, it's soft, it's buttery, it's summery. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this. Now, if you guys decide, if you're a knitter and you decide to do this, let me know if that first section, it's the section, the raglan section, if you guys can follow without writing out the lines, because I could not. You know, like it says here, like the first one says repeat body increases every round for, like in my size, for 7 rounds. And then, but at the same time, repeat sleeve increases every 2 rounds for 17 rounds. How do you keep track of that? Like, so some of them have body increases. I don't know. It was crazy. So, but I did it. I got it done. So I'm very, very pleased with this. And like I said, if I find another yarn that speaks to me, it is a basic tee. It's really cute. And if I find another yarn that I think I will, I might make it again. It really would. Once I wrote everything out, it was really quite easy to follow, and it's a hell of a lot of stockinette, so got to practice my knitting. So that was good. And this yarn, I can't say enough about this yarn. It is luscious. It is. Somebody was recently mentioned that they were getting into finer yarns, and I think I am too. And this is a number 3, I believe. But it is soft, it's buttery, it's 100% cotton. This one is called Strawberry Swirl. Love it, love it. So it is on the pricey side though. So I can't see myself buying more of that, but anyway. So what else? Just a little bit of happy mail. Got a card from Barbara, our friend who lives on a sailboat. Barbara, I hope your healing is going well, and thank you for keeping me in the loop. That's awesome. It's always great to have what do they call it, old-fashioned mail. So that was great. I also got a little bit of a happy mail from Kathy she's in Nova Scotia, Sydney, Nova Scotia. She made me she also gave me, inside this, she also gave me a keychain with some crochet hooks. And I believe knitters use these to fix stitches. It's already on my keys, so thank you for that, Kathy. Now, when I opened it up, it's a mask. She made me a mask. Now, I opened it up, and look at this. She's a woman after my own heart. It looks like a whole bunch of caffeine drinks. Love it. Love caffeine. So that was great. And then I flipped it over. Wait until you see what's on the other side. Look at that! I love it so much. 2 of my favorite things in the world. Look at that. I love it. Thank you, Kathy, so much. That was absolutely unnecessary and a total surprise, and it made my day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that was my happy mail. Now, sorry, the hammering is starting, so I gotta speed this up. There's one shout out I want to give out, and one channel that I want to bring to your attention, although he doesn't need my shout out, but it's a great channel. The first one is a shout out. She's fairly new to the scene. She's a Canadian, but what hooked me was she's got purple hair. Love it, love it. And that is Michelle with Crochet with the Mother of Boys. I've binge watched her she's got a few videos, and she's pretty awesome. I love it, and I hope that her channel blows up. I think she will. She's got a great personality, so go check her out. I think you might like her. So that, and then the other channel that is, like I said, it's not a shout out. It's just if you're learning to knit. There's a channel called Nimble Needles, and that's Norman, and I believe he's in Germany, and but he's really great at like really zooming in and showing the technical aspects of knitting. I just love him. I think I've learned more in the last few days than, no, I shouldn't say that. There's lots of other great tutorials, but he's awesome. And then what I like about him, he shows you the actual anatomy of the stitches, and he explains the reason for certain things. I love it. So if you're learning to knit, he's got quite a lot of tutorials on helping, and I think it's wonderful. Anyway, that's all I have. I'm in at 18 minutes, yes. I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend, and I hope your upcoming week is fabulous, and we will talk soon.